Introduced by Jesse Jackson through the Democrat strategists in 1988, there was no nationwide discussion among Black Americans. That rollout was from the top. That came from the damn top down. It was pushed through the white media and government agencies as a replacement for Black. You understand? Come on now. What they did, they ran a Jedi mind trick with us because you know what they did with African American? They rebranded Foundation of Black Americans as goddamn immigrants when they did that. They effectively rebranded us as immigrants, equal to an Italian American or an Irish American or a Mexican American. That was a horrible thing. They was a Jedi mind trick they ran on us with that. That's why we reject that term full fledged because it erases our distinct lineage. Foundation of Black Americans, we are descendants of freedmen. We've been here from the very before the beginning of this country. We've been here. We're the only group that has the longest continuous bloodline on this land. You understand? There's been Black people on this land from day one. And when you do that African American thing, that lumps Black immigrants in from Africa and the Caribbean, people who came over voluntarily, people who immigrated to something better. And that comes in and that kind of dilutes our historic trauma and contributions as foundational Black Americans, and it creates policy confusion. And we're saying no. And that opens the door for these non-FBA immigrants to claim benefits meant for foundational Black Americans by using African American broadly, like institutions, colleges, foundations, media. They start awarding scholarships, grants, diversity positions to Black immigrants and their children. That's why in a lot of these Ivy League schools, African American, quote unquote, the student population is dominated by Ghanaians, Nigerians, Jamaicans, all of these other people. We do a Juneteenth program. All of a sudden, everybody has the runners ups and the winners have African last names or Latin last names. So yeah, they want us to be on some old sleep ass African American vibe because everybody can leech off of it. That's a leech term. Yeah. They can use that to co-opt all of the movements we get popping. Civil rights, hip hop, all of these protest movements, they start to get co-opted by these non-FBAs. We get shit popping in the streets like my good brother, rest in peace, Darren Seals, my good FBA brother, who the alphabet folks took my brother out. He was the real seed for the Black Lives Matter movement. Our brother Darren Seals out there in St. Louis, real solid ass dude. That was my nigga, man. That was such a solid brother. He was the real person kicking that off out there with the whole Mike Brown thing. And they started marginalizing him and they started sending them alphabet boys out there to target a lot of the real grassroots activists. And then they started sending tethers out there in front of the media. They started sending these weirdos out here that didn't nobody know. And then they start changing the energy of the message. We're like, hey, justice for Mike Brown, hands up, don't shoot, Black Lives Matter, trans lives matter, immigrant lives matter. Whoa, what's all this shit? Then it just went all the way left. And then all of a sudden they start pushing these weird people saying, hey, these are the leaders of Black Lives Matter. Leaders? What? What you mean leaders? What's that? Watch when people come in and talk about somebody's a leader. See, Black Lives Matter, that was just a phrase. There was really no organization that was centralized called Black Lives Matter. It was some Democrat shills that they put out there in the media and said, hey, these are the leaders. So whatever these people say, and those women were tethers, and they were on some LGBT stuff. So their job was the media was going to elevate them based off the grassroots momentum that foundational Black Americans were kicking in. They went and got these tethers, put them in the media and said, they're the leader of all of this. So all of these people in the streets putting in work, they're doing it for these women's agendas. And the agenda is immigration and LGBT rights. See how all of these people are stumping for that? That's why we're like, no, 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 no. Anybody runs up here trying to be spokespersons, we're checking paperwork now. We're checking paperwork right now because we ain't having that bullshit no more. We ain't doing that no more. Yeah. So the thing is, them using the term African American, that wrongly frames foundational Black Americans as foreigners. When you use the term African American, that implies an African origin over American indigenousness. Yeah. That ignores that we built the US economy. We built the infrastructure. We cleared the brush. We cleared the wilderness. We are no goddamn immigrants at all. We should not even be compared to immigrants at all. That's just a fact. We didn't come to something better. We had to get it out the damn mud. We didn't look up. We had to get it. Everything we had to get it out the damn mud as foundational Black Americans. We had to create it. You understand? That's a very unique ethnogenesis shaped on this soil. That's unique. And we're embracing that. We're not going to let our ancestors be disrespected by people coming over, claim jumping the sacrifices they made. They made those sacrifices for their foundational Black American offspring. They did that for us. They didn't do that shit for no goddamn Myron Gaines and people like him to come over here and disrespect them. We don't allow that to happen, family.
I make this shit look easy. 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 I see what I like, then I go out and get it. I make changes, that's why I'm different. I see it before it happens, that's vision. Telling myself I know I like this.